What's going on? What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Think About It. How's everyone doing today? It's another day of paradise, as I always say. I'm not going to say what day it is because I'm not sure what day we're even going to air this thing. But anywho, thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for tuning in to whatever this experiment is. Let's have some fun today as we always do. So what are we going to talk about today? Well, a little bit of stuff, a lot of bit of stuff. But the point is that we're going to discuss some things that we should think about on a deep level. Or I feel that we should have an in-depth discussion about. Because there's lots to think about, if you think about it. No pun intended, all pun intended. Anywho, I hope everyone is having a blessed and beautiful, joyous day today. I hope we're all living in a state of goodness, in a state of happiness. I hope all of our dreams are coming true. I hope we are living our lives to the absolute fullest, that we're out of a survival mode. A lot of us, myself including at times, we tell ourselves to like we're in certain modes in our lives mentally and how we operate. We have to remember that we get to choose as humans in which mode we operate, on which wavelength we operate, right? Right. So we'll get into a little bit of that later. First thing I want to talk about, I noticed in the Twitter sphere and the news and all that, what they call it, the new online, I learned some terms. I learned some things. See, the one thing I did learn is about change. And I hope you all know that I know that the only constant in this world is change, right? And it's how we adapt to that change. Life's not only about taking massive action towards the things that we want and towards the life that we want to live, but life is also about reaction and how we react to the environment around us, how we react to the people around us, right? I remember realizing in the hospitality industry that I was no longer in the hospitality industry, that I was in the reaction management industry, right? And that having that mindset and having that understanding and being fortunate enough to work with experts in that field who taught me and invested time in me to teach me those things has allowed me to, I guess, continue on in the hospitality industry and allow me to go on to different fields and do different things because of that training and that understanding of what we're truly in, right? Having self-awareness of what we're truly doing and how we're truly interacting with one another. With that being said, pardon me. Andrew Yang. I love this guy. Now, why am I talking about him? Well, why not? He is a thinker. I am a fan of Andrew Yang. I was a fan of his when he first came out with UBI. I said, this man's onto something. And it turns out that he is starting his own party. And I think it is absolutely brilliant. I think it's absolutely genius. I love it. I hope that his vision comes to fruition. I hope that people give him the opportunity that he deserves for his vision for America. Here's the thing. Whether he's right or wrong, we have to give him a fair chance. Because in this country, they designed it to only be two so that only those two are in power. They don't want you in power. Everyone can't have power. That's what they believe. Think about it. And That thought is completely false. How we get out of this, in my personal opinion, is through power. It's just a matter of how we or what we do with that power. In my personal opinion, the solution to this is that we must and we need to empower ourselves again, to empower our people again, and not just submit our power to politicians. You see, what's happening right now is not new. Everything that's going on in our country is not a new thing. It's not a new occurrence. See, history repeats itself. Now we have to go back to the Roman days as far as our mindset as a society and how we view one another. If you look at us now and you look at them, it's quite identical. However, we know what's going on. We can focus on the problem. We can focus on the current state of being. Or we can focus on solutions. Now, after thinking about it, no pun intended, all pun intended, I was trying to figure out and trying to think about how we got here. How in the hell did we get here? What happened? Why did we get here? But I don't like to, one thing I learned through yoga and meditation is to never sit on a thought, never be attached to one thought. Because if I'm attached to that for too long, I'll start drawing emotions to that, and we don't want that. See, we don't want to allow negativity to drive us. We don't want to allow problems to be filtered through in our means of operation. Right? We want to operate out of goodness. We want to operate out of joy. We want to operate out of solutions. So what is the solution? Now, I'm not saying I have it. Maybe. But just my thought of why and how come we're in this state of being is because, remember when I said about change? Right now we are experiencing a change in our world, in our universe, like never before. We are on the cusp of something that has never occurred in history of mankind. And our current leadership in this country is trying to provide a solution to that future with old solutions, not realizing that change is the only constant. And they are realizing that with this shift, with this change, they have already realized that they are losing absolute power in every way, shape, or form, in every fashion. They're losing power with their people. They're losing power with their institutions. They're losing power with their law. They are losing power globally with other nations. It's a tough time. Makes you think. We're gonna make it out. It makes you think about what you can do in your own life. Because in the end, when you're taking on, massive global superpowers, There's only so much you can do in reality. And this is where these new federal laws and these new federal mandates come into play. And I don't mean it in any disrespect to COVID or anyone or any way, shape, or form. The reason why I'm worried is because, not worried, I shouldn't say worried. I'm not really worried. What concerns me is America is the greatest country in the world because it gives you and I the freedom and the utmost freedom in comparison to other countries. And for a long time, it's always been a strategy of global governments to restrict people of their freedom, to restrict people of their knowledge, to restrict people of their power, to restrict people to think freely. It's nothing new. But now we're coming to a time of, it's different. It's just different. And it gets me thinking. Me, I'm like any one of you, any parent, any father. We're going to do anything in our power to give our kids the absolute best life possible. Any parent will tell you that. How are we giving our children? How are we giving our future the absolute best life possible if our society is operating so divisively? How are we giving our kids the absolute best life possible if they cannot express themselves every single day in school? See, back in history, they did these same things to people. And see, we are so blinded. We blinded ourselves with our acceptance of things, our acceptance of information, our demand for instant gratification. We have done this to ourselves. And we never saw it coming. The slow rollout of human control. Is it too late? Can we do something about it? I don't know. Think about it. Put your comments, questions. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Y'all have a blessed and beautiful day. Thank you for subscribing to another episode of Think About It.